Hello, everyone. Welcome to Heart Centered Tarot. As always, my name is Marina, and I will be your guide for this portion of the journey. And say hello to my co-host, Cleo, of Cleo the Seer, and welcome to Kitchen Table Issues.
Hey, Marina, isn't this great? This is
I
great. This is
know.
perfect timing. Tariff day. Here we are.
Yes. Yes, Tariff Day. Some people down south are celebrating Mardi Gras. We can celebrate Tariff Day.
Yeah, it's Fat Tuesday for a lot of people, not just in Louisiana, but
Yes.
I guess there's a bunch of places that celebrate Fat Tuesday. So
Yes.
yeah, that's a party. What we're talking about now is not so much a party. It was like diminishes the party. It takes the wind out of the sails of the party when you have all of these damn tariffs that nobody wants. Nobody wants it.
No.
Except Trump. And he makes up reasons to have it, which is a complete and bogus lie. Canada, especially Canada, is not the main culprit when it comes to fentanyl. And but I think that Trump is going to see we're going to run into a lot of problems, because how do we build cars without the steel? How do we keep the lights on in the Northeast without electricity?
How do you heat your home without the natural gas?
Yeah, there we go.
What are you're going to fill your cars up with oil? Yeah, the oil that comes from Canada that we can shut off. That oil. Yeah, and you think you're going to be able to turn that around and use American oil because there's just an overabundance of American oil? So, yeah, you know what? I don't think that it's going to take very long, because you absolutely cannot explain to Trump that it's not the country that you're tariffing that pays the tariff. It's it's your constituents. It's the people who are buying the products. It's something that he just absolutely cannot wrap his brain around, because let's face it, there's 3 brain cells and they're all fighting each other, right? So yeah, it's but I think what will happen is as these tariffs go into effect, the people who are current Trump supporters and who believe that he's doing the right thing, when they go to the grocery store, to get their groceries and get their eggs, good luck. If you like maple syrup on your pancakes, ooh, you might want to consider something else. How about, you like to have avocado toast? Sorry about your luck. You want to, all of a sudden your electricity bill or your power bill or whatever goes up by 25%. Hey, they're the ones that are going to start saying, well, wait a minute, this wasn't supposed to happen to me. What about, Canada is supposed to pay the tariff. Well, you know what? This is the FO part about FAFO. So, and we've been saying this for how long? Right?
Oh, yeah.
How long? Yeah. I think that give it a week, 2 weeks at the very, very most, because the auto industry and the people that rely on a lot of the materials that come from Canada, they can last 4 or 5 days. After that, there is nothing to produce. Nothing. So then, you think the companies are going to keep the auto industry, are they going to keep the doors open, or are they just going to lay everyone off? Well, maybe then people clue in.
Well, right? I mean, they've gotten really good at laying people off, and it makes absolutely no sense. And I don't think as of today that, an outsider, somebody that has nothing to do with the federal jobs and stuff, is not really feeling it. but we're talking about every single agency that protects us, protects our food, protects
Yes.
our forest, protects our air, protects our oceans. I mean, every single thing. And they're just, fire him, fire him, fire him. Yeah,
Yep.
that's just not going over well. But then he's moved so fast from one thing to another, it's hard to keep up with what he's doing.
Yeah.
Book Bewitched just said Dow Jones was down 72% when she checked
Yes.
last. Well,
Yes.
yeah, this is not good. This is the main thing that happened. Well, it actually started the day before yesterday, or maybe even before that, in
Yes.
intense anticipation of the tariffs going into effect. And this is where we're at. It's just going to get worse and worse and worse. And I have said all along that if Trump is allowed to do what he's doing, which apparently he is, it's crazy.
Yep.
He's going to bankrupt the country.
Yep.
People's lives are going to be ruined. And all these people that got laid off, I know there's a lot of them that are like, there's no way for them to pay next month's rent or
No.
next month's mortgage.
No. And there are no, excuse me, no safety nets. There is no place they can go. Who are they going to complain to? You're gonna complain to the Justice Department that there's
they're
no
closed.
one there.
They're closed.
Yeah, sorry, come back next year. Maybe by then we'll be open. And then, I mean, what's her name? Scheinbaum did her speech again when she was talking about the U.S. and the tariffs. Again, she spanked Trump. She really, really did. And she basically, in essence, what she said in not so many words, and then she did in so many words, is the United States, you wouldn't be who you are if it wasn't for the Mexicans that came up and worked. They are the ones that built your country. So, yeah. And it's true. Who's going to pick the fruit? Who's going to pick the vegetables and whatnot to get them to the market? Who's going to drive the trucks? Who's going to do all these things? Is it magic workers? Are fairies going to drop down? And yeah.
Who's going to do my yard? Who's going to put the roof on my house?
Yes, exactly. Build the road and all that.
People, and I can't think of a time when I've had somebody that appeared to be from out of the country doing that kind of work for us.
Yes.
And they just did a great job. I can't complain about,
I know.
I can't complain about any of the migrants that I'm aware of that there was a problem. And he's talking about, he said to whoever, don't be looking at what's going on with Putin. Look at the immigrants that are raping and murdering and criminal and doing all these terrible things. And I'm like, I haven't seen those. I'm sure one or two exists.
Yes, absolutely.
I haven't seen them.
Absolutely. And you know what? There are good and bad in every segment of society, in every color, in every culture, be it male, female, whatever. There are those people. But you don't just, you do not. It's the old thing about, you blame the person who looks a little different from you. You make them the other, and you make them responsible for all the ills, rather than look at yourself and say, the reason I'm unemployed is because I'm basically a lazy ass and I don't want to get up at 6 o'clock in the morning to work for minimum wage. But you're perfectly okay in letting someone else do that, letting someone else have to deal with the consequences of all that. And so that you could look at them and say, the reason I'm not working is because you took my job. Okay. Yeah. All right. Well, will you take that job now that immigrant is gone? Oh, hell no. Oh, no, I'm not working for minimum wage.
Well, and that's like, Trump's theory is that when we when we stop all these products coming in from
Yep.
other countries, that we're going to have to, that we suddenly become instantly self-sufficient and
Yes.
start making our own cars and getting our own steel. Well, all of that stuff takes a long time.
Yes.
And
It doesn't
especially
happen
the
overnight.
steel thing, the cars are going to be, here's the whole horrible thing
Yeah.
of it. If we have finally, after the pandemic and towards the end of Biden's reign as our president, that we wish was still there,
Yes.
he made it so that the inflation got under control, and then almost flatlined to where we just didn't have inflation.
Yes.
But we still had a little, the prices had gone down a little bit, but not as
Yes.
much as we wanted to. And then Trump gets in there, and now he's going to raise the inflation all the way back up again.
Of course.
This is just, it will be really hard to take, because we've already taken a beating from the pandemic.
Yes.
And
Yes.
so, what he's doing is, but, and they have all, please, everybody, the propaganda that is on the news, on the internet,
Yeah.
maybe even on your local news, about how people
Yes.
are just, they're really thrilled what Trump is finally doing, or they're really thrilled that he's calling out Zelenskyy, or they're really happy about all this because once we get these tariffs going, somehow, some way, they think this is going to make it better for them.
Yeah.
No, nobody thinks that. Nobody is that
No.
stupid.
No,
know.
and you know what? It's going to be a hard lesson to learn when Trump gets his marching orders from Putin, and Putin says, "I want you to send troops to Ukraine, and or send troops to Russia to fight against the Ukrainians." And all of a sudden, some of these bubbas are going to get notices in the mail saying, "Hey, it's conscription calling. We'd like you to show up next Monday. Guess what? You're going overseas." Right?
This will not happen. This will not happen. There's no general in the army. There's, this will be, no, they're not. They will never do that. Trump might try to do that, but at that point, that's when they finally pick him up and put him in a rubber room and say, "Go ahead, talk all you want. Put a fake TV in there or something."
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. That fake. If you just go into that room, that's where your Nobel Peace Prize is. Go pick it up. You just have to go pick it up. And I will say, you guys, I shared something earlier when I was on with Sherry, and I'm going to share it with you guys as well, for those who haven't seen it. And I want you to know that this came to me by way of my cousin in Croatia. So it's, the other side of the world, right? That's Croatia is in Europe. And it was, oh my gosh, good news. We finally have the pictures of the Trump-Putin wedding. Here you go. There they are. Look at that lovely, happy couple.
Oh,
Yes.
That's hilarious.
I know. Do they not look so in love? Like, this relationship is going to last forever, right?
Well, I think they've been in bed together for a lot longer than we anticipated.
Yes.
So, they're very familiar with one another.
Oh, they are.
They know what each other likes.
Yeah. So there you go. You can. It's the first release of the pictures. I hope you enjoy it, and we'll have to see. Maybe we can take a little donation for the couple, because apparently, look, Putin couldn't even afford a suit at his own wedding. He had to show up in athletic wear. So, they're starting to set up house, they might need towels, they might need cutlery. And so, maybe we can each spare, $1 or $2, and see if we can get them set up for a very happy married life. So there you go. I just I absolutely cannot get over that. It was just so priceless.
Yeah, it's absolutely perfect too. That Trump would
Yeah,
be the bride because
of
he's been
course.
controlled by Putin like a little puppet. So
And he is, and we all know, yeah, he's a good little Christian wife. He gets his orders from Putin, and he does whatever he can to make sure that hubby is happy. So um yeah, it I cannot tell you in how many ways I find this so utterly ridiculous, and yet it is it is stunningly funny, because there's still so many people who just no, 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 no. He is the best president we've had in the last 100 years. Oh, good. Good. Remember that when you're unemployed, living out on the street, and you get sick and there's nothing you can do. Yeah, remember that.
and
That
you're
by
paying $10 or more for a loaf of bread.
Yes. Yes. Yeah. So and who are they going to blame then? You got the president, you got the Senate, you got the House. Who, or maybe they'll be able to blame Biden, because
Well,
Trump
yeah,
is
that's what he's saying all along is this is
yeah,
Biden's fault that works out this way. Plus, that this I love it that he always says this is what the people asked for. People want us to do, to tone down the
yes.
government. You know, actually, we probably do need to look into those kind of things and see uh, what can be changed to reduce the debts.
Yes.
Not by saying, "Okay, you're out. It's over. As of today, get out of here. No more paycheck for you."
Yes.
I,
Yeah.
I mean,
That's
it's
right.
it's just ridiculous and it's dangerous and it's really a horrible thing to do to somebody. To
It
just say
is.
there's ways to do things like this that make a lot more sense, and hopefully,
Yeah.
um, if it really was that necessary, and then to throw Musk into the mix made it even more insulting because
Yes.
he doesn't know. Neither one of them know what the hell they're doing. They're just like, well,
No.
let's eliminate this department. Let's eliminate that department. Regardless, who
Yeah.
cares?
Yeah.
Who cares if we
Done.
don't have
Done.
anybody
Done.
keeping an eye on the nuclear waste in Eastern Washington? Um,
Yeah.
yeah, who
And
cares if we don't have anybody checking out what's going on in the forest? Who cares if the wildfires, which now it's over on the East Coast, we've got wildfires.
yes.
They're just out of control. It
Yes.
does sound like they were getting control of it a lot faster than we did on the West Coast. I don't know what the deal is there. That's good. But
Yeah.
I mean, so what, and then to eliminate FEMA. Well, FEMA has had its share of problems, and maybe
Yes.
it is something that you need to look into, but not just eliminate.
Yeah.
The only thing to fix this is to get rid of it. Well,
Yeah.
no, that's not the way to fix things. And
No, it never is. It never is. You have to identify where the problems are, and then you have to figure out ways to make it so that it doesn't happen again. You don't just come in with a bulldozer and destroy absolutely everything and then say, "Oh, but now we destroyed all the houses. Oh shit, where are people going to live?" Well, you should have thought that before you turn the key.
exactly,
So
exactly.
yeah. And Cheryl Day, hold on. 45 has a psychic who said, "I see people singing and dancing so happy behind your car." And he asked how many. I'm um I feeling, and she says, "I don't know. Can't see inside the coffin." No, exactly. Exactly. Thank you, Cheryl. That made my
Thank you,
day.
Cheryl, which, by the way, I have really seen into the future of people dancing and singing, and it's
Yes.
because that 45 is no longer on the stage.
Yeah.
He's somewhere else. Not that he's dead. I'm not saying that, but
Yeah.
he just is not
Just
going
not
to be.
there. Yeah. Just
Yeah,
just
and it's
not
just
there. Yeah.
so as weird as this is going to be, and as difficult as it's going to be, hopefully it doesn't last too long. But it is definitely temporary. There is going to be something that's going to happen, because, as I keep saying on every show I'm on, nobody nobody is going to allow anybody to ruin our country after 250 years of doing. Hey, we've kind of done okay, we've been all right.
Yes.
To be
Yes. And
friends every
you
few
don't pick fights with your friends. You don't make life difficult for your friends and expect that there isn't going to be any pushback, right?
Yeah,
So yeah, he's picking fights with Canada, he's picking fights with Mexico. He's also put tariffs on China. Oh, please. For most of you that are out there, if you were to go in your kitchen and go in your pantry and just close your eyes and pick out any item in your pantry, chances are very good that it is coming from China. Even the things that you don't think are, it's coming from China. You got your paper plates, you got your straws, I mean, so many things. And it, yeah, maybe Canada isn't as vocal sometimes as we should be, but China, you want to pick a fight with China? Do you know how many people can show up on your doorstep? Like, so, is that who you really want to mess around with? What happens to all his dealings in China? What happens to all of Ivanka's patents that she got in China? They can say, "Oh, sorry, yeah, we had to."
but what has really happened to her business? I mean, I haven't heard anything about her for a long time.
I know.
She's just been keeping a very low profile. I think she
Yeah.
ended up probably losing a lot of money just because her
Yeah,
dad.
yeah. I think she is trying to put a good deal of distance between herself and him. Um,
Mainly because she doesn't want to lose her children. And I mean, I'm sure he could probably understand that, that she does not want to do that. By the way, somebody says here, Mary Starshine says, Hershey's chocolate is made in Mexico. Oh boy, I didn't know that, but boy, what a thing to screw with. People love their
yes,
chocolate.
yes, exactly, exactly. And so yeah, I was checking to see, some of the things that would really, really have an effect on U.S. consumers with these tariffs. And as much as Trump says, well, we're putting tariffs on you, and if you put tariffs on us, we're just going to double them. Well, okay,
Yeah.
double them. As a matter of fact, why don't you just jump to the end point instead of saying I'm going to double it? Say I'm going to put tariffs on you of 1,000%. How's that? 1,000%. That's okay. We can do two. Like this is a pissing contest that he can't win. So, Shelley Joe says Hershey supports Trump. Well,
I didn't know that. That's horrible.
yeah,
I bet they
yeah,
changed their tune. Like, oh, wait a minute. No, never mind.
yeah. Well, okay. Yeah. My supply of Hershey's, I'll be very careful when I go to the store. So yeah, some of the things that are kind of almost immediately going to be impacted is automobiles,
Yeah.
because a good portion of the aluminum, the steel, the components for the cars come from Canada.
Yeah.
So now putting a tariff on Canadian goods going into the US means that the price of vehicles is going to increase depending on the kind of vehicle, 3,000, 5, 10,000 per vehicle. Donald Trump isn't going to pay that. Canada isn't going to pay that, but you're going to pay that.
Yeah.
You know,
a lot of people had put some stuff in here about that, about the trucks. It says,
yes,
Fox showed a new Dodge truck at $90,000 yesterday, and today it sells for $130,000. So we're talking
yes,
a $40,000 increase overnight.
exactly. Yeah, because the dealerships, they're not going to take a loss. They're going to pass it on down, right? The other thing is softwood lumber. This affects the
This affects all our houses and buildings.
housing. Exactly. And Trump said, well, we don't need Canadian lumber. We have more than we could ever use down here. Okay, well, then it's not going to matter to you that we put a tariff on it. You're not going to be buying our softwood lumber.
Well,
So,
no, what Trump wants to do is sell all sell not all, but a huge chunk of federal land so
yeah,
that people can go in there and clear out the forest and we can use that lumber. Well, no, yeah, that's not the way to do it either. And I
no,
hope that something happens before now and then where they don't actually sell off a whole bunch of federal land. I mean, there's a reason why the United States hold on to certain sections of land. And it's for
yes,
all the right reasons.
yeah,
No, this is this is just not going to work out. And and not to get too far away from the tariffs, the thing with Zelenskyy and how he goes in there and has this embarrassing thing happen with
yes.
Trump and Vance. Vance? What an idiot! I mean,
know. I know.
So now, Zelenskyy hops on a plane and goes to Europe, lands in
Yes,
the UK, I guess.
yes,
And all of a sudden, he's got multiple countries supporting him,
yes.
and but somebody is saying, you need to make nice with Trump. So he's trying to. But I love the idiot that was at the thing at the Oval Office or wherever they had their press meeting that said, "Don't you want to wear a suit?" And I'm like,
That was Marjorie Taylor Greene's boyfriend.
oh no, really?
Yes.
Really? She's got a boyfriend. Wow, good for her.
Yeah, that is her boyfriend. And the first thing that that I thought of when I heard that is, Zelenskyy is a wartime president. When Churchill was in power and the war was going on in the UK, he did not wear a suit either. He was at war. But the other thing that flashed into my head was Elon Musk. Standing by Trump by the Resolute desk, right? And what does he have on? A T-shirt, and he's going on and on and on.
Long little coat, and then the hat, and all in black. He looks so much like he just stepped out of Russia. It just amazed me how he looked like a little Russian soldier.
Yeah, I mean, exactly. So that you're coming down on Zelenskyy, but it's acceptable for Elon Musk to do that. It's just that the whole thing was designed for an audience of one, and that was for Putin. Zelenskyy walked away from that with a lot more power behind him. And a lot of the European countries are recognizing and are saying, we can no longer count on the US.
Right.
We cannot believe anything that they have to say. Donald Trump doesn't know from 1 minute to the next what he's going to do. There is no loyalty to anyone there. So maybe instead of counting on the US to do something, maybe we better look after ourselves. And if he comes out with over the next little while, and he starts talking about NATO and how he's going to get out of NATO, I would say before he has a chance to do that, NATO, get together and kick his ass out.
Yeah.
Just tell him, no, we no longer need you. You carry on and you do what you need, right? And then as you pick this fight with China, and if China was to come in and, try to attack the US, sorry about your luck. If you were still in NATO, we'd be able to help. But, you got out. What can we do? Our hands are tied. Right? Nobody in that administration thinks past the tip of their nose in terms of what they need to do. And I don't buy for 1 second that what Doug Ford was saying, that, he's talked to many senators and governors and, and people that, from both parties and even the Republicans who don't agree with this. Well, then why are they not standing up and saying that out loud? Why do they think that it's okay to say those things behind closed doors, but they won't say it out loud?
Yeah, because it's bullshit.
Exactly.
It's not true.
Yeah.
I do see if we can just before we get too carried away and so excited, because I got just crazy when I saw what they did to Zelenskyy.
Yes.
That he is going to try to come back and talk nice and kiss ass and try to get Trump to settle down. And I think I did see somebody that just said, calm down, Mr. Trump. Just calm down. Because he just was off into something totally different, something that never existed. That Zelenskyy always has thanked the United States, and he's been very, very gracious and grateful for all the help that he's gotten. And that's why he keeps coming back to us, because he knows that we have the means to help him.
Yes.
And Trump is saying, well, if we quit helping him, there won't be a war. No, if you quit helping him, Russia takes over, does what they want, and proceeds to take on Poland and other countries.
Exactly.
And Europe knows that. That's why they're going to help him. But this is just so, it gets so emotional. So I can't believe how much time I have to spend, like, remove yourself emotionally. Don't take this in emotionally.
Yes.
Try to hear what's coming through with spirit. And spirit is being very, they're very calming with me. I mean, they're just like, go ahead, get excited for a minute. There's no sense in it. It's just, they keep telling me this is just temporary.
Yes. And
but
while we're in the middle, while we're in the midst of it, it is sometimes hard to say, okay, calm down. It's only temporary. It's like, how temporary is temporary? What are we talking about? Are we talking about a week, a year, 10 years? Define temporary.
Yeah.
Right? But I do agree with you in that it is, if I see it as a way to, find humor in that. Are you, how desperate, how uneducated must you be to believe anything that comes out of that man's mouth when he lies like a sidewalk? Are you kidding me? That nothing that comes out of his mouth is true. He wouldn't, in the words of Judge Judy, he wouldn't know the truth if his tongue was notarized. No. These are all things that we're going through, and we've seen this repeated many, many times. When people get yes, Michelle. And oh, by the way, Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for being here with us. We got into a discussion right off the bat before I even had a chance to say hello to all of you. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And please make sure that you visit Cleo's channel and give her a like, share, and subscribe and all that good stuff. And yeah, Mary Starshine says, yeah, anyone going to watch the big BS speech tonight? Probably not.
I'm going to record it, but I don't know. I don't really want to watch it. But then again, I don't want to be, I do want to know what kind of BS he's spewing, right now.
Yeah.
You know,
I think he's going to lose it. I think he's going to lose it because there's apparently there's some of the Democrats and some of their constituents are letting the Democrats know, you better go in there and you better start calling him a liar to his face. Like when he starts talking, you say liar, liar, liar. So if that happens, could we hope that yeah. Anyway, never mind.
He has a way when somebody confronts him like that. He just moves to a different subject.
Yeah.
I mean, he got a little bit crazy when he was talking to Zelenskyy and just like, he was nuts about it. But under this new thing, this little thing, we're talking to the country and letting everybody know what a wonderful job he's doing. No, he'll, if he's confronted by anybody, he will just blow them off. He'll just move right on to and act like he didn't even hear it, or it doesn't make any sense to him, or he doesn't care.
Did I say that? I can't believe I said that. Did I say that?
Yeah, when he called Zelenskyy a dictator. Oh, wait, I said that? Oh, I can't believe I said that. Moving right along. He just I still think, especially this month, things are going on behind the scenes. Yes. Now, when, I know we'd all like to know, when is he going to be taken out? When is somebody else going to be taking his position? The woman that should be,
yes.
All those things.
The real president of the United States.
Yes. And they're finding, I love it. There's bits and pieces of that kind of information coming out more and more and more about that. Yes, that I'm hoping that they can prove it, because that's what would change a lot of things. It could change everything. But even if they don't, there's all this other stuff like that Trump is definitely a traitor, that Trump is on the side of Putin. Now, who is going to finally step up and say, hey, wait a minute, this is not a president. This is a convict, a convicted felon that is cozying up to Putin and putting it in their face. I mean, he is in your face about it. He's not trying to back off of anything. No. He's like, I don't want to talk about Putin because Putin and I are like this.
Exactly. And have been for a good long time. And yes, am I a Russian asset? You damn right I am, and very proud of it too.
And I've been at this for years. Putin has come on finally. He's like, yay, you finally said what we needed to say. And, that Zelenskyy needs to be put in his place. And we just all agree with you on this. And I'm like, oh my God, what in the world? I mean, it's right out there. You don't have to second guess it anymore. You don't have to talk about a conspiracy theory. It's right there in front of your face. So it's just, it's just a matter of time where it just goes against all sensibility about how things are run. And so our politicians are going to have to they're going to have to risk their place a little bit and start standing up to him. I think, I think that they're afraid that if they say anything, they'll be put in jail, which then now we're really talking about a dictatorship. So it is going to take some planning and strategic setting the whole thing up about, and plus they have to figure out which thing do they want to go for. Did they want to go for his treasonous behavior? Do they want to go for the election interference? Do they want to go for the things that he's doing that should be were approved by Congress in the first
Yes.
place, but he's just taken it out of their control. I mean, so many things are happening that are wrong that they just really have to get their act together and figure out what they're going to do. And I
Yes.
got a feeling, I know it doesn't look like they're doing anything, and I'm disappointed with the Democrats, but I think that they really are working on some things, and they're just not being so public about it, because
Yeah.
once they go public with something, Trump just pounces on it. But
Yes.
I do see military intervention, and to have him either locked out of the White House, basically.
Mm-hmm.
So but is this going to happen overnight? No, unfortunately, it's not.
Yes.
But
Yeah.
and I've said on other shows this month, especially about the middle of the month, and
Yes.
it's actually the way March started off with a bang.
It did. It did. And it's just going to continue, because we've got things that are happening that astrologically and planets and so on the 7th and the 14th and the 21st. And it's like one thing after another, boom, 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 boom. So yeah, the calmer that we can be, the more that we can see things as they happen, as almost blessings in disguise, right? It's going to happen when it's supposed to happen. It can't happen fast enough for us, because some of us have been going through this for years. But it will happen. It absolutely will happen. I think that I hope that Zelenskyy doesn't resign. I hope that he sticks through it and wins the war. I think that he just might be able to do that with support from Europe, from different countries. France has said that they are willing to put boots on the ground. The UK said they're willing to put boots on the ground. And imagine that disheveled little man who doesn't, wear a suit, got to sit down and have an hour-long conversation with King Charles.
Yeah, he's got a lot of support. I do not see Zelenskyy stepping down at this point. I mean, you know, I think he said that because Trump was calling him a dictator and stuff, and he was just offended by the whole thing. And he's like, fine, I'll step down. I don't, I'm not a dictator.
Yeah.
But yeah, I know, I see, all this support from other countries for Zelenskyy, and also all these countries taking a good look at Trump. And so I think the world court is going to be involved in a lot of this stuff. I think NATO is. And I know this thing with NATO gets real iffy because, I know Trump is going to probably try to back out of NATO.
It's not going to save him. He can back out all he wants. If NATO goes after him, that's it. They go after him. Who's going to protect him? Elon? He's going to be too busy running away and hiding to make sure that no one can do anything to him.
Well,
I hope he takes that child that he wears as a shield with him. That
you got to remember, Trump. It's not just Trump. Trump has a whole bunch of Republicans backing him up, and the whole thing is when Trump goes down, all of those people are going to go down. I mean, it's going to be like when they set up those chess pieces. Doesn't matter. I can't remember what analogy I was going to use. But anyway, I mean, it's all going to come tumbling. Once it starts, it's just going to fall. It's just going to go big. Like Marco Rubio, he's gonna be in trouble too. And Mike Johnson, he's going to be in trouble. All of these Marjorie Taylor Greene, she's always in trouble,
Yes.
but she's going to be in bigger trouble. I mean, the people that have been backing and supporting him to overthrow the country is basically what he's trying to do. He's trying to overthrow the United States of America. And he's got a lot of people supporting him, acting like, pretending like that this is what the country needs. No, this is not what the country needs. All the country really wanted is they wanted a president who was going to bring the prices down and make life easier, a little tiny bit easier, and not put us into a position of brand new inflation, brand new higher prices. And in the meantime, firing thousands and thousands of people so they don't even have the money now to go out and rent or mortgage or whatever. It's just
prices were coming down under Biden. The economy was much better under Biden.
Totally.
The unemployment rate was excellent under Biden. But there are those that are on the periphery of the power that they want to keep the wealth for themselves. They do not want to share the wealth. And honestly, a lot of the world's problems would be lessened if those with money had to pay their fair share of taxes. If they were taxed at the same rate that you and I are taxed at, a lot of countries, all of a sudden, their debt ratio would come down.
But I just want to thank Nathaniel and Mary. They both said dominoes. Thank you. You were reading my mind. That's the word I was looking for. Lots and lots, and I could see it, but I couldn't remember what it was called. It's a senior moment. But yes, thank you. Dominoes was the word.
Yes,
it is. It's going to fall like dominoes. You know, you've seen those when they line those things up and they hit one and it just goes on.
Exactly.
Forever. And that's what's going to happen.
Yeah. And they will as they start to come down, and watch how quickly. And this for me is where the humor comes in. The people that are just glorifying Trump right now. Oh my God, he's the second coming. He's the best thing ever. And so when the proverbial shite hits the fan, how many of them are going to start walking it back? Oh, well, I didn't know. Are you kidding me? He did that? Oh my God, I am shocked. They are going to be falling over themselves.
They'll say it's a lie. Don Turner says, I feel like NATO has asked Zelenskyy to put his hand out because they need a little more information before they can move in. Yep. You know, good point. Good point. More than likely, you're right about that.
Yeah.
Yeah, they just need just a little bit, you know, they just want Trump to stick his foot in it just a little bit further.
More.
And you know, all these things are adding up.
Yes. And yes, Michelle, Astrological Caro. Hello, honey. Nice to see you here. After the empire crumbles under the weight of its own arrogance, who steps in? BRICS, aka China. Exactly. BRICS will come in. And I just sometimes have to shake my head because I was thinking earlier today, I wonder if I should maybe put a poll up on my channel and say, for those people who firmly believe that what Donald Trump is doing is good for America and that he's saving jobs and so on, I'd like to do a poll. And the question would be, when you drank the Kool-Aid, do you remember what flavor it was? Because I'd like to see if there's one flavor that's more popular than the others. Right? Strawberry, blueberry, cherry, which one was it? Yeah. So there's, and like I said earlier, we have seen this play out so many times in history, and it never works out for the bad guys. Never. And yet with every time that we go through this, it's with the guy who thinks, no, no, I got this. I can do this. Yeah. And when it comes to especially Musk, sometimes when I tried to read on him, and
the swamp water.
yes.
Sorry, I'm over here reading what Book Bewitch said. She said, you were talking about the Kool-Aid. She said, we drank the swamp water.
Yes, perfect. That's exactly what it is. Great. Yes, and grape too. Oh, Mary Starshine, that is excellent news. Linda G's Jack came through surgery well, going home tomorrow. Oh, wonderful. I know she was really concerned.
Yeah, that's her dog, right?
Yes. Yeah, that's her dog. So yeah, thank you,
Spirit. Jack.
Oh,
little segue here.
Yeah.
What has been coming to me over the last few days? There's a lot of talk. They keep talking to me about Jack Smith. Smith. I said, well, we haven't heard much about Jack Smith for a while. And they said, trust us, Jack Smith is on this like white on rice. He's
white on rice, like a fat kid on a Smartie. Yes.
Exactly. And I'd kind of forgotten about Jack, and also Bonnie Willis, and was that her name, Willis? Or
Bonnie Willis? Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
And some of these other women that, judges and stuff, we haven't heard about them since Trump came into power, because you can't do that to the president.
Yeah.
Well, I think the one person that probably knows more about the illegalities involved in this stuff with Trump, not just January 6th, and I'm sure Jack Smith, he doesn't seem at all like a vengeful person, but he seems like somebody that is constantly the patriot fighting for justice. And
exactly.
I got a feeling that he is behind a lot of information that will help help in this catastrophe that we're living in right now.
Absolutely. He has always impressed me as being the kind of resolute patriot. I don't need to make a lot of noise. I don't need to scream and yell. I'm just putting my nose down and I'm just doing my work, and you better look out, because when I come out to play, there's things are going to happen to certain people. They're going to go through some things. So yes, I absolutely agree with you that there's a reason that Jack is back in The Hague.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah, he quietly left, and he didn't give Trump a chance to say you're fired. And right. He knows exactly. He knows what's going on, and he knows how to approach this. And I think he's going to be very helpful when they're getting together somewhere, somehow, some way.
Yes.
In the cover of darkness, because they can't let the Republicans really be informed, because then they go crazy and start something else up, and they've already got a big enough mess. So I do feel like there's a bunch of people that are working on this, and my guys are continually telling me just to let this stuff transpire as it's supposed to. Because they do want Trump to just put his foot into every little thing that he thinks he wants to do, so that they can all throw it back at him when the time comes. And so, but it's scary and it's painful for everybody else, because to put everybody else in this position of not being able to afford anything and not having a job, and it's really, really bad. So I know that everybody wishes we could just fix it right now, and
it would be lovely.
Make great inroads in March. I mean, I think March is going to be very productive for getting to where we want to go, and it's not by tariffs and just doing crazy ass things that don't make any sense, and firing people for no reason at all. I mean,
it's a big distraction. It's, while I'm busy picking your pocket, I don't want you to pay attention to the fact that I'm picking your pocket. I want you to look up there. Look, there's stars in the sky. Can you see the sun? Can you so that you're not paying attention, and that what he is doing is he's trying to line the pockets of his friends who he thinks are going to protect him from anything that comes up his way. It's not going to happen. I, I had a
he
sense
wants
the
to be
other
the
day.
dictator. He just wants to be the dictator. And
Yes,
finally, people are, our politicians, and I'm constantly referring to them because they're the only ones that can really get the ball rolling. I mean, I do see it will be the military in the end that comes by and
yes,
changes things for us. But yeah, I mean, the politicians, I think that I'm not sure if they don't really know what to do or if they're just putting that out there as kind of a let Trump go ahead and we just don't know what to do if that, and everybody's saying that this is so great that
yeah.
that one article I had read where somebody had said, when Trump does this thing with the tariffs, it's going to really help us. I'm thinking, nobody
Yes.
ever said that. Nobody.
No.
It's
No.
not going to help us.
Yeah, look at Mitch McConnell, who was having a conniption because Kentucky bourbon was being taken off the shelves in Canada, and well, that's not good. Mitch, you think? Like maybe I wonder if maybe you should have said something earlier.
Well, Mitch, he has said some things, but he doesn't
Too late. It's
carry as
too
much
late.
weight. It's just that he's
Yeah,
been in that position for so many years. And, generally speaking, he'd just go along the ways of the Republicans. He's not doing that anymore, but he's still a Republican. But he just, it's Trumpism. He just does not believe in Trumpism. And he also understands the dangers of what is going on here with Trump being he doesn't go through Congress for anything. He doesn't go through the Senate for anything. He just does things. And, and also with Musk, which, by the way, I guess Musk shot a rocket up in the air, and I don't know. I haven't read the whole article about it, but apparently it didn't go the way they wanted it to go.
oh, oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, he's like I was saying earlier. I have tried to really read on Musk, and his energy is so frantic and so reptilian. It's like I no, I tried once, and I tried to do a video, and 3 times before I could even kind of get a little bit of information. But he is there. Yes, Tigard, yucky. Yucky is a good word. When things start to fall apart, I think one of the first things that is going to happen is Elon is going to find himself without any access to what he thinks is his fortune. I think that all of that money is just going to go and it will be seized. And then what? What's he going to do? They seize his assets, and they're going to do some of the same things that they did with the Russian oligarchs when they seized their things. They're. I think SpaceX is going to be sold for pennies. Tesla is probably going to go out of business. I don't think that it's going to go anywhere, but I think that that's how it feels to me. Like it starts with people like Musk, who are brought down, and they start singing, and all of a sudden it's the other folks that are coming in.
Well, it's
And
hard to to know. It's hard to know if it's Musk talking or if it's the drugs
Oh
talking.
God, yeah. Yeah.
So, who knows what Musk has in mind? I know he feels like he's just totally uh, separate from everything, and he's untouchable. Not only does he have more
Yes.
money, or he's got the most money in the world supposedly, and that he's got Trump on his side, so he just figures like he can do anything he wants. Um,
Yeah.
yeah, we're still trying to figure out how Trump or how Musk got involved in at this level and how this is okay. I don't think that there's anybody. I don't think there's any Democrats that see any of this as being okay. Uh,
No.
how they're going to deal with it, I don't know, but they are going to deal with it
Yeah.
eventually.
And that
That was the
Elon
other thing
Musk.
I wanted to mention is that it's not just what's going on here. All these other countries that are watching especially this thing with Zelenskyy, all these other countries now they're looking into all their. For one thing, they're looking into this election interference thing that they
Yes.
know directly links up with Musk, and
Yes.
that directly links up with Trump. Trump
Yes.
is going to say, "Hey, I didn't have anything. I don't even know how you do that." He's gonna
Which
pass the buck.
he's right, because he's
Yeah,
too
so
stupid to figure anything out. You can't.
it's the other countries that are going to give us a lot of information that we can
Yes.
act on, and
Yes.
I think that's coming up quicker and quicker. I think it's coming up this month. I don't know
Mhm.
if they're going to act on it this month, but I think all of these little bits of information and intel are going to start happening to where they can finally they got something to work with. Is what I'm saying.
Yes.
That the rest of the government can say, "Hey, something's wrong here," and I just got a feeling that a lot of these. I know that he's fired some of the generals, the big wigs in the
Mhm.
army and stuff, but there's other people that still are in the army
Exactly.
that are
And
not,
it
they
yeah.
haven't been kicked out yet. And
Oops, sorry about that.
I was going to say, what in the world was that?
That was it. That was a message coming in from my son.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Now, I think it's also really telling in some ways that Peter Navarro, I think it was last week, was going on and on about how he wanted to kick Canada out of the Five Eyes. And I thought, isn't that interesting that you would pick on Canada? Because what is it that our intelligence folks have that you're afraid has already been shared with New Zealand, Australia, UK, and so on. Um, and when he was very adamant about it. And then a few days later, when he was asked about it, he just kind of totally backed off. What? No, are you kidding me? No. So they always tend to project what it is that they are scared of. And they are scared of the countries coming together and sharing information and putting things together. And yeah, Elon Musk was in trouble with a lot of governments who were going to go after him and who were, wanted to talk to him about things. And all of a sudden, he's got the money to back Trump in his bid to become president, and he basically buys the election, right? So um, that's how the relationship started. Was they didn't like each other. They really didn't, and they still don't like each other, because each one of them wants to be the queen bee of the hive, and you can't do that. You can't do that. So this is a really tenuous relationship. And in the words of Elon's son, you're not the president. You need to leave here.
plus I mean, he's involved in the election. Musk is involved in election interference around
Yes.
the world, and they're all figuring this out, and they're all comparing notes, going, wow, that's kind of what happened in our country. This
Yes,
didn't go the way anybody thought it was going to go. And oh,
yes,
you mean Musk had something, Starlink? What? He's, how does, I don't understand how that works. Nobody does, unless you're really,
exactly.
a super geek that
Yeah,
understands how these things are made and built and
yeah.
work and how it works with your computers and stuff. But there is people out there and they're looking into it. And then you've seen them on YouTube. They're talking about, the mechanics of how do you screw up an election that way.
Yes.
So yeah, it's just, but I don't see the necessary downfall of anybody, quote unquote. Like if somebody should be taken out of office, I don't see it necessarily through election interference, but that's just another thing to look at. And then, all the other things about being a traitor. And I've always seen, going back to 2016, I was
Yes.
spouting off about him being a traitor, and other people, especially my Republican friends, were like, "Ooh, boy, you better not say that." And I'm like, "Well, no, I see it as it
Yeah.
is, and he's a traitor." And I think that
Yep.
is, I think he will face charges as a traitor.
Oh,
But
I hope so.
we'll see. All those things come up way down the line. It's what we're worried about right now, which is getting all this intel together, getting it figured out, making a plan, and then finally acting on it. And you know, what can Trump accomplishes things so fast as far as bringing up all this weirdness. This is only the 4th of the month, and by the 15th, which is really what everybody is seeing, that the 15th is like the ideal time for all this stuff
Yeah.
to a head. Um,
Yeah.
but it won't. Again, some of the stuff may not be told about it. We may not hear about it.
Yeah.
But I do think that a lot of stuff is going on this month that's going to make a big, big difference.
Yeah.
And I wish I could say, oh, the guides told me it's going to be April, or
Yes. Yeah.
but
Yeah.
I
April 19th by
heard that
3 p.m. Yeah.
yet. Yeah,
It
right.
it would be great if, yeah, if they did that. But once you realize that the the time in the quantum field does not operate the same as it does here, and that time is a human construct. Excuse me. Then you can kind of, come to terms with, we want things to happen by a certain time. We just have to believe that it is going to happen when it is going to be gloriously beneficial for everyone.
Yeah.
And it will. It will. It's just being patient until that.
Yeah, and really being patient, because it really requires a lot of patience. And
Yes.
because don't be
Yes.
pulling your hair out, because
No. No.
because
Exactly.
it just is. Honestly, I hear it, I see it. My guides talk to me about this. It is temporary. So
Yes.
when I see something on the news and I'm just like, son of a bitch, look what they're saying now. My guides are like, Cleo, settle down.
Yeah.
It's okay. It's temporary. You
Yeah.
got to go through this pain to get through the cure.
Yes.
So
Exactly. Yeah. And thank you, Mary Starshine. Warren Buffett came out against the tariffs. Of
I
course he
saw
did.
that.
Of course
Yeah.
he did. Because he's not an idiot.
And he's very tasteful about the way he said it too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. There you go. Well, alrighty, folks. We have been at this for a little over an hour. And Cleo, it is always a pleasure to be able to sit at the kitchen table and toss this back and forth, because I know that we solve the world's problems every time we get together. If
I
people
know,
will
it's
only listen
amazing.
to us.
I love doing this with you, Marina, as well. Yeah,
Yeah,
we do. We really we really come up with a lot of answers.
absolutely. Absolutely. And it's, what, we should start a book, or at least, keeping track of things I said or things that I did when I was right and nobody listened. And then we could say, all right, page 17. But yeah, thank you so much, Cleo, for doing this with me. And thank you to each and every one of you for being here and spending part of your evening with us. Love knowing you're here. I love reading how you interact with each other and how supportive you are. And know that we will get through this together. None of us is alone, right? We will get through this. As painful as it is, we will get through this. We will survive. We will see each other on the other side to say, yeah, job well done. So
yeah, we're still going to be on the planet, and it's going to all work out. So don't worry about it. But I did want to mention today's show is on. We're on Tuesday, which is not normal. We started out always having this show on Thursdays. I think we're kind of switching now to Mondays, but for some reason today we had it on Tuesday. So you kind of got to keep an eye out for kitchen table issues. And also, I just wanted to remind everybody that on Friday there's a polyterology, and I will be on that. Are you on that one?
No, I don't think so. I don't think so, but I'm not sure. I don't have anything yet, so perhaps not.
Okay. Well, I don't know. We just, Colleen kind of gets whoever she can now. She's changed polyterology to like maybe once a month or something, but then randomly she will, especially depending on what's going on, she'll have one anyway. So anyway, we are doing one on Friday, and and then on Monday I'm going to be on the Mystic Four, and I will be hosting that show, and that's with Val and Gerald and Allison. So I hope you come and see that one too. But anyway, I love seeing you guys. You helped me out so much. Thank you.
Absolutely.
And of course, Marina, this is Marina's brainchild. She's the one that invented the Kitchen Table Issue Show. And it's just been really a great experience. So I love it.
It has. And so, don't forget, you want to know what we're up to, check our post tab on our YouTube pages. Usually put up what we're up to and where you can get us. So thank you. And the next time that you will see us is going to be on Monday, March 17th at 5 p.m.
Yeah.
And that's when you'll see us back at the Kitchen Table Issues. All right. Have a great one, everyone. Take care for now.
Right.
Bye.
Bye-bye.